Hey there guys, this is Code Tutorial for you back with another Edabit problem. This one's called the forbidden letter. It says, given a letter in an array of words, return whether the letter does not appear in any of the words. So let's go see the examples. As you can see, we're given the letter R, and then we have to see if it appears in any of the words inside the array. So as you can see, the very first letter in the rock is R, so we immediately just return false. In the second example, we have the letter A, and let's check if A is in any of these words inside the array. So as you can see, spoon does not have the letter A in it, fork does not have the letter A in it, and knife does not have the letter A in it. So we return true. In the last example, we are given the letter M, and the array is empty. So we return true because even though it's empty, that means it never appears in the array, so that's why it's true. So the notes, all inputs will be given in lowercase, and you will always be given a forbidden letter, but there may be empty arrays. So let's go to the code tab. As you can see, the function is a bool, so we will be again just reassuring we're returning true or false. We are also given character C and vector of string, which is called R. And then, so the way we're going to solve this is we have to find a way where we can access every single string individually and then each letter of that particular string. The way we're going to do that is we're going to do a nested for loop. So we're going to do two for loops, so one inside the other. One of them is going to iterate through each string in the vector. And the second loop, the inner loop, is going to iterate throughout each character in that current string that we are examining. So let's start it out. We are going to initialize it. We're going to start at 0, index 0. We're going to go all the way towards the end. And then we're going to go through each string. Remember, the for loop is going to take us from one string to the next one to the next one until we are at the end of the array. And then the inner loop is going to go through each individual character in that current string that we were at. So let's go to, we're going to start it. We're going to use J. We're going to use J to differentiate. We're using I for the outer loop, and then inside we're going to use the J, which we also start at 0 index. And then we're going to go all the way through that particular size of that string. So the way we find out the size of that individual string, we're going to do this. We're going to put the name of the array, which is R, and then in brackets we put the I, and then again, like normal, we just put dot size. And then we are going to put J and plus plus. Oh, I accidentally ran it. Don't pay attention to that. Okay, but then the way we're going to access this and check if it is a forbidden letter is we're going to use an if statement. Inside, we're going to put the name of the array. And again, we normally, when we do a string, if we want to look at one particular character, that's all we do. But since we're doing strings which are inside an array, the first we're going to check this I is going to be the rows, and then the J is going to be the column. So in the first row, let's say 0, index 0, and in the column, in the very first letter of that first word we're going to deal with also is going to be a 0. So array 0, 0. So it's going to be like array 0, 0, right? And it's going to check if it goes to if it's equal to the letter that we are given. but we have nested for loops, so we let it do all the work. We're going to do I and then J inside. So this is going to be at one point, this is going to be the I is going to be 0 and J is going to be 0. And then the J is going to be 1. Meanwhile, the I still is 0. And then J is going to be 3, 4, depending on how large the string is, which this is going to let us know how big that string is. And so if it is equal, then we're going to return false, because it is a forbidden letter. But once, if it goes throughout the nested for loops, if we do not find any forbidden letters and we get out of the for loops, then we will just return true. Let's see. Should return the answer. As you can see again, make sure you do not put the wrong thing. I had put commas instead of, so that's what I was not checking correctly. So there we go. And again, that's how I passed all the tests. Now let's go to this tab to just show you more information on this. So as you can see, we're given the input R and C, and the name of vector of strings R with the individual strings rock, paper, and scissors. And this is from the example that we used, example 1. And as you can see, the outer loop, and then this is the inner loop. So what this shows is we at I0, so array 0, we are accessing this string rock because this is 0. If this array 1, then we are accessing paper, and this is array 2, then we're going to be accessing scissors. And in the inner loop, we start at J0 again as well. Remember in the code we have this IJ, so we start at 0, 0. And so in the very first instance of rock, we find the forbidden letter. So we compare it and match found, so return false. So in conclusion, the letter R is found in the first string rock. The function returns false, indicating that the letter R is forbidden in at least one of the strings. Let's go look at this second example. As you can see, the character we're given is A, and inside of this vector of strings R, we are giving the string spoon, fork, and knife. So what we check we start at I0, so array 0 is going to be this, so it's going to be spoon. And so it's going to give us a little of the iteration right here. J is 0, which is going to be array 0 with array I0 and J0 is going to be S, which does not equal to A, so we continue. And then array 0I, which is 0, 1, which this 0 is I and this J is 1, is equal to P, so it does not equal to A, so we continue. And then inner loop, J equals 2, so array 0, and then J equals 2, so this O does not equal A, so we continue. So we would continue 0, no, 0, no, so we go on to the next one. So again, outer loop, now this I equals 1, so once we put R1, then we're going to look at the string fork. Because remember, R0 is this spoon, and then so this one's 1, and this one's going to be 2. So then once we check, again, R1, I1, and J0 is equal to F, so no. And then R1, and it's going to be this O, R1 and J1 is equal to O, which is not equal to A, so we continue. And then J2, which we put is array, this R is not equal to A. So again, we go to the next one, and K does not equal to A, so we did not find A yet. And then knife, again, I is equal to 2. No, I is not equal to 2, but 2 is I. And then we are at array R, so then we put this 2. So remember, that means the index. So this one's 0, this one's 1, this one's 2. And then the inner loop, we look and we start again at 0. And then, so this R, I 2, and then J is 0, which is equal to K. So that's not equal to A, so we continue. This R, I 2, and J 1, which is N, does not equal to A because it's an N. And then we have R2 and J2, which is this I is not equal to A. So we continue. As we can see, there was no A inside, so then we just return true, indicating that their letter A is not forbidden in any of the strings. So if you want more coding solutions, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.